here at this session. In fact, I am pleased here for the day reason to talk on how do we repair the damaged brain, the most complex subject. If you go to our initial medical schools, neurology was one of the most complex subjects. I believe you all agree in your medical schools. And the diseases are most complicated again. They keep you devastated whole life. How do damage brain repair is the most important question. And as a doctor in my profession, do I can offer a hope for this is a big question again. People are waiting in queue for the repair. In fact, at the onset, I would like to take you to the outline of my talk, which is just on the disease damage, global ratios, complex brain and simple cells. These are MRIs. Like if you talk to these guys who are suffering with these diseases, you know the problems they were suffering from. If you see the MRI, it will show other brains. You will find there is some damage, fibrosis or necrosis or inflammations in these all MRIs, which indicates that there is some problem which is happening in these MRIs. They all say the same story. At the end, the life becomes very painful and also does not have the quality of life which they suffer from. Collectively, if you see, these diseases represent a huge volume, staggering numbers. 35 million people globally are suffering. Most important, annual budgets for spending on this kind of disease are 700 billion globally, and they are rising. Reason is that they are aging diseases, they are newborn diseases, and young people diseases. You can imagine the young generation going to accidents, cerebrovascular, spinal cord injuries. And aging, the way we are in the modern life living and modern medicine living, we are aging with the diseases like Alzheimer and Parkinson. The numbers are staggering. People are suffering and they're waiting in the queue. Whereas there are no solutions for this. Why? We need to ask the question, why there are no solutions? So we need to talk ourselves to find out, these are global populations, to find out what is this complex brain. We need to go back to our medical schools when we were students. When we go to back to our medical schools, we get the solutions very difficult because we were never taught simplicity of the brain. We were taught with the world. We were taught with the complexity of the brain. But in fact, today I would like to show the different journey of the brain which will make you understand brain very easily. It is composed of just simple 4 types of cells: oligo, neuro, and supporting cells, glial cells. Neurons are the most important part of them, and oligo, which are laying down the myelin sheath and maintaining the conduction of the nerve fibers. Now, when are these 4 cells, they become a building block of the brain. That's all, that's the brain. How simple we can understand instead of going to complex to the brain. It will make you understand when these 4 cells work in harmony together at a good health, they create a symphony of electrical circuits, which are responsible to give your day-to-day expressions, motions, emotions, thoughts, your language, your expressions, all are the results of this symphony of electrical current. And remember, any one of the cell of the 4 becomes damaged, injured, or becomes non-functional. Either may be the cause, maybe a trauma, maybe infection, maybe anything, hypoxic injury, and any one cell gets damaged. What happens to the brain? If you can see, the electrical symphony of currents get disturbed, conduction becomes slow. Now when it becomes slow or stop, what does happen? The communication doesn't take place from neurons to neuron, and since the communication is there, no informations are passed and brain becomes unease. Always call this condition as a disease, and the disease of brain represent in such a way, not like other organs. Other organs we get some of at least medical treatments and where we get relief, but here it leads to a devastating disease. Some of the devastating diseases during the course of my clinical practice. How the patient suffers, I would like to show some of the diseases in my clinical practice, how these patients presented to me. A small video will enlighten you. Post-infectious encephalitis. Liam was from Nairobi, 7 years in coma, and there was no hope. The poor lady got all the way to India from Kenya. Cerebral palsy, 1 year, 2 months. Lost the hope. No choice, parents can understand the pain. Motor neuron disease, you can imagine what can happen. The moments are gradually lost and patient becomes staggeringly bedridden. Spinal cord injury, 3 years in the bed. You can imagine the young generation going into paralytic conditions. And the life is absolutely staggered with suffering and dependency. These are the stories. They all tell the same story. The pain, suffering, and making life dependent on others. Parkinson's disease. You can imagine the dystonia this person is having. Unimaginable. Even ideal activities of his own life to maintain his daily routine activities was difficult for him. Now, if you happen to understand their life, if you happen to understand their lives, they are so dependent, so difficult to survive their lives. Now, why these conditions are not treatable in current condition? We have to ask ourselves a question. If you can find the answer for this question, we have to go back our medical schools. Again, I repeatedly am taking to your medical schools because the science is changing. Some of our authors have already spoken about the dynamicity of the science. What I am talking today may not be true tomorrow. What the people are talking today may not be true tomorrow. One of the truth of it is that till yesterday we believed mesenchymal stem cells as stem cells in the body. They are never stem cells in the body. They are just signaling factors, medical stores in the body. They are stem cells in vitro, but not in the body. In the same science, see how fast the changes are coming up. So whatever we are taught is going to change in future. So where is the hope with so many devastating diseases? So we need to find out a hope. To see the hope, we have to have two flavors to understand. One, the functions of the stem cells, what we understood. And second is, we need to think about the innovations in the stem cells. We can't solve the problem by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. This is Albert Einstein's sentence which states that, are we going to think in the same science? No. We need to have a, innovative disruptions, breakthrough conventions, and can the brain cell heal or repair? We have to think in this direction. Once you think in this direction, we need to go back to our medical schools where we need to understand why we taught neurogenesis. No. We need to go microscopic level studies. We have been doing microscopic studies. This is just animation where you make to understand the way embryological neurogenesis you can see here, which leads to understand, yes, brain cells are forming. These neuron stem cells differentiate and work up to initial part is a proliferation, then they migrate to different areas of the brain. Now, till this time of the first part of the gestation, neuron cells are proliferating and migrating. Means it's a tissue formation, organ is not formed still. Now, if you see the second neurogenesis stem cell, again you will see the neuron cells are being formed. These cells go to progenitor stem cells and then they become a migration. They replace the damaged cells, which is very important to understand. This indicates that the stem cells are in the brain, which on the basis of our conventional teaching, we taught there are no neuron stem cells in the brain. These are the areas where we have the stem cells, neuron stem cells in the brain. Now, this is one area where I would like to highlight. First part of the slide was to understand the neurogenesis. Second part is, do we have a regeneration in the brain in adult? That's a big question. If you happen to go understand some of the diseases like multiple sclerosis, spinal cord injury, CVA. You have been seeing some of the patients or most of the patients over a period of time when you leave natural healing to them, partially they recover. Partially they recover. This is one area where you can understand when they are recovering partially, it indicates there is a spontaneous repair in the brain. This is a choice to read and understand, which makes very much powerful. A tool to understand, if you can see the new myelin being laid down, and the other one, the electronic image will show the damaged brain and the brain is being replaced by the new myelin sheet is coming up and the healing of the brain is taking place. This is very important to understand the spontaneous repair. When we look, there is a spontaneous repair in the brain, the way it is done in the liver, kidney, skin, but the most of it does not repair, not enough for incomplete. It's not enough as it is being done in the skin or in the liver. What is required here is that we have to enhance. What is that we can enhance this healing against the orthodox teaching from medical schools. This is not a big rocket science. It's to be understood, can we harness the power of stem cells? If you can harness the power of stem cells here, definitely we can improve the neurogenesis, what we expect to take place in the brain by spontaneous repair. Now this is a celebrity sheep. If you see, Dolly the sheep is a celebrity sheep. Going back to the story of this last century, the two most important scientists and two most important events have taken place in 100 years is one, the Dolly sheep, which was worked on the somatic nuclear transplant. This has given an idea to the current Nobel laureates like Sinya Monica and John Gordon. Both of them in 2012 got an IPSC Nobel Prize. The idea was that how do we reverse the biological age from an adult somatic cell taking back to the embryonic life to the stage where embryonic character cells brought. The benefit of this was that it took away the entire world out of the controversies which had with the embryonic stem cells and made us to understand the proper study of mankind is man, Alexander Pope, to make you understand the bottleneck which was existing in the research of any cellular component, one, and second, how do we apply this cell from a research taking from a bench to bed as a therapy. This has solved that bottleneck complex. We get to understand the digital neurology or stem cells for one reason. Like other places, we could take a biopsy and study the tissue material, but in brain cases, we cannot go for a biopsy for brain. So we needed something, an option, which could come out this bottleneck and bring the drug in a dish again. Drug discovery in a dish. This is the biggest challenge, and as Dr. Tote has already mentioned us, this has changed the scenario because we could develop from these cells all type of tissue cells of our body. 220 types of cells could be developed in a dish and could be studied for different drugs. The animal model was outlaid from here, and this has reduced the time factor of any drug testing, not only time factor but $1 billion study, and could find out one drug which is a very golden drug for you and which is studied on a human model than an animal model, which could be genetically, therapeutically and applicable to the human being with more effectiveness. This is a great bottleneck, and it has changed the dynamics of research in stem cells, particularly when we talk of neurological science. In this study, what they could have done, I'll just show you one of the graphs. These are neurons which were taken from a person who was suffering from a disease like Alzheimer's, and they could find out the life of these cells is reduced by 2.5 times compared to the normal somatic cells which were from a normal person, and iPSC were created and neurons were developed, and find out the life of the neurons from a normal cell and the life of neurons from a diseased person. 2.5 per times it was reduced. The idea here is that when you want to taste the drug in a dish, in both the dish, we have to find out a drug which can reduce this diseased neuron line to the healthy neuron line. And if one drug which could find out, which could change the red line to blue line, which will definitely make you change and understand This is a golden drug which you are waiting for, and it could be very well applied to the human life without animal model. You can understand the difference of tasting the drug. This is a very big challenge as a bottleneck, and which you have come up with the stem cell technology, particularly the neurological science. Reason being, we cannot go for brain biopsies. Now, when we use stem cells for the repair of the brain, when we talk, we can apply in two ways. The same cells we could develop in a way to use therapy. There are two ways. One, activating stem cell already in the brain, that is endogenous application. The other, transplanting the stem cells, exogenous. Here in exogenous, I would like to add something in the brain. In addition to what we talk, progenitor cells, there are one more group of cells in the brain which are called as double cartin cells, which are at the number of 1/4 volume of the neurons in the brain, which are neither the complete, they are just before the neural cells, which are allied to the neural cells, and they take over the charge in the injury to differentiate into neural cells. This has been proved in the science. Yeah, taking over. This is like we use this is again animation how the cytokines could be used to induce the neurogenesis in the brain. The second one I will show you a very important post, that is the concept of, there are just 2 minutes that remain, I'll just come to the talk. Now, the idea is that when we are talking about this endogenous or exogenous application of the stem cells, we need a concept of both clinical as well as investigational models to understand, yes, these cells can be used for repair of the brain. Now I'll show you some of the same patients which I use the brains. You could see, understand the MRIs which I showed you. Then I showed you the disease pattern, their suffering, their painful life, and the same patients after the treatment, how they improve. Can I take the volume?
Volume.
हॉस्पिटलचा ॲड्रेस मिळाला म्हणून त्यांच्याशी आम्ही जाऊन भेटलो तेव्हा सर म्हणाले की नाही तुझी मुलगी ॲबनॉर्मल नाही आहे तिला आपण ट्रीटमेंट करू तू वेळ न घालवता हिला तिची ट्रीटमेंट चालू कर मग आम्ही 8 एप्रिलला हिला ॲडमिट केलेलं आहे हॉस्पिटलला केलं होतं 8 एप्रिलला ॲडमिट केल्यावर आम्ही जेव्हा घरी आलो तेव्हा तिने खूप ड्रास्टिक चेंजेस दाखवले सर्वात अगोदर माझ्या दृष्टीने म्हणजे देव कोणाला स्वीकार
This is a voice of multiple sclerosis, spontaneous repair induced with endogenous.
First of all, I'd like to thank everybody. So, when I came down, I thought that we were having a certain kind of experience and all, but we achieved more than that. And it was not like an doctor and patient relationship. It is a family. So, I really had to tell the part.
Hello, sir.
I think we'll just, there is one more slide which I have to show you, which will make you enlighten the application of stem cells.
Hello, sir.
For all of you.
Hello.
Great.
Your time is almost up.
1 minute, sir, I'll just wind up 1 minute. Now, when we think of, we have been hearing the talks of all the authors, the most important part is application of the stem cells and the source of the stem cells, which are the origin, and how to use. This is one slide which will helpful to understand the types of cells which could be applied and the sources of them. And the most important part when you practice stem cell technology, you should know the mode of application. These are small graph which you understand which are the cells could be used for the tropic effect and some of the cells which will be substitution here, replacing stem cells. This could be used for most of the clinicians in their practice. The videos of concept of rural various, these are the different studies as Dr. has told you, almost 700 studies are there on MSc or different neurons which could be used, and these are the studies which show the concept of proof of that the cells can be used in the stem cell therapy. And towards the end of my talk, I would say, thank you for your patient hearing. If you have any questions, you can ask me.